Okay, let's be clear from the start. What we're looking at here isn't a product pitch. Think of it more as a strategic disclosure. It's pulling back the curtain on a system its creators call a non-negotiable advancement in AI. This is the official disclosure of UPEL⁴.
So, right out of the gate, this is the official mission statement for UPEL⁴. That's UPEL⁴, by the way. And you gotta notice the language here. It's aggressive, and that's intentional. Words like dominate tell you everything about the ambition. We're not just talking about solving single problems anymore. We're talking about generating entire operational ecosystems, what they call metasystems.
The disclosure basically frames UPEL⁴ as a total paradigm shift. It's drawing a hard line in the sand between traditional AI, which is often stuck in the cloud and focused on one problem at a time, and its own approach. UPEL⁴ is generative. It builds the whole system from a single source of logic. The key promises here are huge. Air-gapped sovereignty, meaning it can run completely offline, safe from any outside interference, and that it outputs code natively, which gets rid of all the messy manual integration work. So, the big question is, how does it actually do all this? Is it just magic? Well, according to this briefing, nope. The power isn't in some mysterious black box, it's all in the architecture. It's a multi-layer framework built for one single purpose, to translate high-level logic into executable code for any system, anywhere.
Okay, so they break this architecture down into 3 key layers. Let's walk through it. First up, you've got the symbolic operator layer, or SOL. You can think of this as the brain, where the core logic is written in this universal abstract language. Next, the translation and execution layer, or TEL, which acts like a master compiler, turning that abstract logic into real practical code. And finally, the deployment and integration layer, DIL, which is the delivery system that pushes that code directly into real-world hardware. It's designed to be this seamless pipeline, right? From a high-level idea straight into execution. And this right here gets to the absolute core of their claim. They're saying this isn't just a metaphor. The document states that the fundamental laws of physics, like Maxwell's equations for electromagnetism, are literally native building blocks in the code. The implication here is huge. Instead of just simulating physics and hoping you're close, the system calculates based on the laws themselves. That, they argue, gives you a level of precision that simulation could never touch. Which brings us to a really critical strategic question. I mean, think about it. If you have a single, superior logic, a winning strategy, how do you make sure it's deployed everywhere, at the exact same time, identically across all your assets, no matter how different their underlying technology is? The answer they give is this number, 51.
So what is 51? Well, that's the number of programming languages this system can supposedly output to. The claim is that its translation layer can take that one core logic and compile it into pretty much anything. C++ and Rust for the heavy hardware, Python for the data scientists, Go for networks. You get the picture. This is their solution for total strategic alignment. One strategy deployed everywhere, natively, with zero translation errors. All right, so with that capability in mind, the disclosure moves into its next section, and the title says it all: full spectrum dominance. The point they're making is that this isn't just theory. They're claiming it's already been demonstrated across some seriously high-value sectors. First up, defense. We're talking about accelerated targeting simulations, but with physics-level accuracy. And get this, the ability to fabricate critical parts with zero-tolerance precision right there in the field. Total adaptability when it matters most. Next, finance. Here, it's all about speed and security. Ultra-low latency trade execution. Fraud detection pipelines that operate in sub-milliseconds. I mean, we're talking about eliminating risk before it even materializes.
Then you've got critical infrastructure. We're talking about self-healing, autonomous energy grids that can actually predict and stop outages before they start. And on top of that, real-time optimization of renewables for maximum grid stability and efficiency.
And in telecommunications, this is wild. It's about deploying quantum-resistant encryption, future-proofing your data, and building self-healing networks that can detect a problem and reroute all traffic in under 200 milliseconds. All of it completely automatic. Now, a crucial point they hammer home is that these aren't just vague benefits. The document actually quantifies the value with some massive ROI claims. You can see it in their data. They're setting over $500 million in annual savings for defense, a huge 18% efficiency bump in energy, and cutting R&D time by more than half. Those are not small numbers. Okay, this brings us to the final and honestly the most important point of this entire disclosure. The takeaway here is that this technology isn't just another option or a nice-to-have upgrade. They're framing this as a strategic imperative, as a non-negotiable. The ultimate prize that UPEL⁴ supposedly delivers is this concept right here: operational sovereignty. And they define it very clearly. It's the absolute power to build, deploy, and operate your most critical systems completely offline, totally air-gapped and independent, basically making them resistant to any and all external meddling or supply chain attacks. And for that reason, its own creators have slapped their highest strategic rating on it, S tier. Now that's a designation they reserve for assets that are absolutely mission-critical, with what they call unmatched adaptability and resilience. You know, there's a quote from one of their internal briefings on networking that really sums the whole thing up. This system is not just an upgrade, it's an existential safeguard. That's a heavy statement. It basically says for anyone who depends on security and operational integrity, this is the new baseline, period.
And so the disclosure just leaves you with this one final, very pointed question. Now that you know this capability exists, it forces you to ask yourself, in a world with UPEL⁴, what's the real cost of falling behind?